Hey friends, welcome to Gardening with Creekside and this week's nursery tour. It is a gorgeous, very close to being summer day here at Creekside Nursery, Dallas, North Carolina. Of course, a Zone 8A. So we do these nursery tours so that when you come to visit us Wednesdays through Saturdays, 9 to 3, you get an idea of what is growing, blooming, and thriving here at the nursery. We're really going to spend some time in the shade because it's hot and we just want to spend some time in the shade, and we've been giving a lot of love to the full sun plants, so we're going to show some love to the shade plants today. But we can't walk by this display without talking about it. You have got a gorgeous landscape idea right here. Firelight hydrangeas. So I have firelights at the house. I call it Hydrangea Hill, kind of between the cottage garden and the chicken coop. I adore firelights. Now these are going to be big ones, right? So these are going to be in that 6, 7, 8 foot range. Gorgeous panicles, which means that they bloom every single year. I have had the best success if I have a panicle hydrangea to turn a pinky rose color. It's going to be firelights. Because we have the heat and humidity in the south, sometimes we don't get that gorgeous color that our northern friends do. But firelights are a wonderful full sun, right? They can handle the full sun and beautiful flowers on it. Little lime punches are also just like cracking. So this is a little lime punch. Probably really close to being my favorite hydrangea because it's so sturdy and just a great performer. But you've got these hydrangeas mixed in with sunshine ligustrums, right? A beautiful evergreen shrub. Loves the full sun, has that chartreuse color, and then paired with the Sunjoy orange pillar barberry. I don't care that it's deciduous because you get this color for 3 seasons out of the year, and then of course pair it with some loropetalums. These are the cerise charm. These are smaller. They're not the 15 to 20 foot size loropetalums. These are much more manageable. So you could easily, depends on how your house is laid out, this could be your front landscape right here, and it will give you gorgeous year-round color. So just ideas as we go through here. It is daisy season, so the daisies are starting to bloom with the banana cream 2s, Nephophias, right, red hot pokers. These are blooming, great pollinator attractors. That particular color is hot and cold. Veronicas, right? So there's so many great things, butterfly bushes, you name it. The panicle phlox, this is one of my favorite ones because this is opalescence. Opalescence also has a lovely fragrance. These are all going to be full sun. We've even got it paired with some of the new meant to be royal raspberry agastache. If you are looking to attract pollinators, we just had a little bee here, he just flew off. This is the one, these are the type of plants that you're going to want to add to your garden. Echinaceas are blooming, right? So here we have the double-coated raspberry beret. It is a double bloom of an echinacea, and this one I think is a little bit smaller in the fact of, 18 to 20 inches. Really fun, and all of these can go together, right? All these perennials can be in the same garden together. Now, as we go through, because we are going to kind of move with purpose over here to the shade. We still have the daylily buy one get one free sale. So any of the daylilies, whether they're proven winners or the non-branded, they are all buy one and get one free. This is while supplies last. People have been taking advantage of this, so we have had tons of daylilies hit the road. That new blood, sweat, and tears. You've got going bananas. This is a gorgeous one. It's one of my favorites. It's a newer one too. That is Storm Shelter. Really unique colors. And then a nice soft palette here too with Sound of My Heart. Like, look at that, right? Love it, love it. So daylilies, full sun perennials, right? That they give you that pretty nice foliage for 3 seasons out of the year. And then of course the flowers. Now, talking about the panicle phlox, I showed you the opalescence, and then there's, oh my gosh, it smells so good right here. There are several in this series of the Luminary series. Of course, you have that opalescence, which is a nice, soft baby doll pink. But one of the most popular ones is the ultraviolet because it truly lives up to its name. When you plant this either in a mass or a high visibility area, it grabs people's attention because of that gorgeous, true ultraviolet color. And then you've got backlight. Maybe you have, like us on the back patio, you're going for more lighter colors, you want cool colors like a moon garden, that kind of thing, then backlight would be a great one for you. And then don't ever underestimate the power of the drops of Jupiter. So here we have, this is the drops of Jupiter oregano, right? So it is an oregano, but it's an ornamental oregano, and it keeps this beautiful chartreuse color for me year round. It is hardy in zones 4 to 9, so it's very, very adaptable. Where we are in zone 8A, even in the dead of winter, I will have a nice low mat of this chartreuse color, and then this time of year you get the height to it and you get the blooms on it. Pollinators love it, and because it is oregano, it tends to be more rabbit deer resistant, so I mean, we love that, right? Moving on over, now we're gonna, I know we're supposed to be spending time in the shade, y'all, but I just can't pass these up. Look at the echinaceas, right? So whether you wanna go with some, this was Magnus, you've got the Sombrero series, those really hot colors of the yellows and the reds, those more of those raspberry berets. You've got these, I mean, just like tons of color. It's like if you want to attract pollinators and have beautiful color in your summer garden, echinaceas are where it's at, right? Love that. Just to kind of give you an idea, I potted these up as a collection. When you're looking at doing containers, don't be afraid to put perennials in a container. Put groups of containers together and just plant, like this is just that Agastache, right? This is a Niagara Falls perennial grass. These I can leave in here probably for several years and they will be great. And then throw in some annuals for a little pop of color, right? You've got caladiums. So you don't have to put all 3 of these in one container. You could if it was a nice big container, or just put your containers together and make a fun collection of those. Give you a little, we haven't even talked about the wheelbarrow. I planted this a couple of weeks ago, and all of these are new introductions from Proven Winners for next year. So we have got a beautiful Angelona, you have got Scaevola, and you have got petunias. So this is a really fun, there's even an Alocasia in here. He's taking his sweet time coming along. We'll see how he does, but these are all, this whole wheelbarrow are new intros for 2025. When you come here, the tags are right there, so you can go and check those out. All right, now let's head to the shade because it is, it definitely is hydrangea season here where we are in the Piedmont of North Carolina. And when we're talking about shade, you're talking about, if you want a pure shade garden, that means 4 hours of sun or less. A part shade garden would be somewhere in that 4, 5, maybe 6 hours of sun. And so of course, being under here with the pines, it is definitely filtered sun, right? So you'll get a little bit of dappled sun as the day goes on. It changes, it rotates. And so this is predominantly a shade garden. We have got gorgeous hydrangeas. These are some, I cannot wait. This is the Wee Bit Innocent, and it is about to show some color. So Wee Bit Innocent is gonna have really like light pastel colors. It is pH dependent, so you're gonna have either really soft pink blooms or soft blue blooms. And this is, if I'm not mistaken, this is one of our friend Megan Mattai's introductions, and so she's going to be one of our speakers at the Signature Experience here on Friday. Cannot wait. But this is hardy in zones 5 to 9, and it's a nice petite, right? Innocent, you think kind of small. So it's going to be 2 feet tall, 2.5 feet wide. I get asked all the time, can you put a hydrangea in a container? Absolutely. This would be a perfect plant to put in a container. Now, depending on where you are, because it's hardy in zones 5 to 9, it says it's sun to part shade. If you're in hot, humid areas, this is definitely going to be one where you want more shade. So maybe you get morning sun, but not really, if you get hot, intense afternoon sun, maybe for an hour, and then that's about it. My people in colder zones, you could probably do this in full sun and it would be fine. So we've got buds on them. They're just gonna be a little bit later because hydrangeas bloom at different times depending on the varieties. Look at this. Is this giddy or grumpy? Let's see, let me find it. Yes, grumpy. Wee bit grumpy. I've literally had people buy this plant simply because of its name. They're like, yeah, grumpy kind of fits me, so I need a grumpy in the garden. But you'll notice how deep and dark the foliage is, how deep and intense the flower bloom is, the flower color. Again, these are all going to be pH dependent. So we here in North Carolina, where we are, tend to be very acidic. Depending on your fertilizer using in the pots, it'll turn it pink because it kind of changes the pH level. So if you buy it pink at the nursery and then you go home and plant it, probably by next year it's going to change to more of a blue purple. So just kind of keep that in mind. You can alter the pH of your soil if you want to, but you just have to add lime or you have to add acid to it, and there you go. And then let's see, who is this? Okay, now this shows you a completely different. Now this is blue jangles. Look at the difference between the intensity of the pinks between grumpy and blue jangles. Now I know you're gonna say blue jangles, that is pink. Again, pH dependent, y'all. But look at that. You can have these two hydrangeas sitting right beside each other, but you get a completely different look to it, right? So in my opinion, there's never such thing as having too many hydrangeas in the garden. And so that's what's so fun about these macrophylla hydrangeas, is that you get height differences, you get color differences. Gorgeous. Let's see, where are we going? Ooh, let's talk about our favorite thing, hostas. Jerry always gives me a hard time and he says I buy too many hostas and have too many hostas here at the nursery, and I say, Jerry, you can never have too many hostas available at the nursery. So that's kind of a running joke around here, is that we need to sell more hostas so that Jerry won't be mad at me, and I can buy more hostas, because if you buy more, that means I can buy more and give you a better display. Here we have a fun shade display, right? So speaking of hostas, and we try here at the nursery to put things together that make sense. So that kind of inspires you. Here we have Rainbow's End hosta, which is so fun. Again, there are thousands upon thousands of varieties of hostas that you can put together and use a whole collection in your garden. So Rainbow's End is definitely, right, all your hostas are going to be more in the shade, especially in the south. Now I know that there are places in the country, which absolutely blows my mind, that you can grow your hostas in the full sun. Not so much here. So Rainbow's End is going to be a nice small one. It is only going to be 11 inches tall. So you can see that we have put this display. So these are going to be up front, right? So you've got that up front. Then you've got your astilbes. Astilbes, of course, beautiful shade perennials, comes in all sorts of colors. We've got lavenders here. You've got pinks. They tend to like the water, but they'll be beautiful bloomers for you in the summer. So you've got that. They come in green foliage. And then you've got Dark Side of the Moon, which is still is an astilbe. This is from Proven Winners. And so Dark Side of the Moon has got this great near black foliage on it, right? And it'll get some height to it. It will be, let me borrow my tag here for a second. It will be 20 to 22 inches tall, and it will get like 2 feet wide. So you have the rich, deep chocolate brown leaves, and then you have got rosy purple flowers. Really, really fun. And then look at these cute little guys right here. I love this. Time in a bottle. The names of these hostas just get me, I tell you. Now this one is only going to be 12 inches as well. So you've got one that's an 11, this is a 12, but look at the color difference, right? Really nice, bright chartreuse colors. And the thing for me is in your woodland gardens, you could have, you know, a ton of different varieties of hostas, because you've got color differences, you've got height differences, you've got texture differences between the petals, right, and the leaves. Now, Here we have another little collection here. If you are a follower, you know that I adore Ascot Rainbow. Now, Ascot Rainbow is a spurge, and we can actually grow this in full sun, but it's very adaptable in the fact that it can also do part shade. So you can use it in your shade garden, or you could use it in your full sun garden. It is going to be hardy in zones 5 to 9, and for us, it is an evergreen. This will get to be about 20 inches tall, and it has a really kind of velvety, dare I say, texture to it. It also has a fragrance of like a very deep kind of earthy fragrance. I personally love the smell of it, but you've got the color between the Ascot Rainbow and then the Evening Gown Euchera. These are perennials that have evergreen color on them. You absolutely can pair these together in your containers if you want to. You can put it in directly in the landscape. Beautiful color variation. So that's when you're looking at your shade garden. Maybe you don't have as many flowers in the shade garden, because typically we don't, because there's not the sun, but you can have such color variation, such texture variation. It is so fun. Now, talking about hydrangeas, look, we have a completely different kind of bloom right here. This is what we call a lace cap. The other ones that we were looking at earlier, those are considered mop heads. The traditional hydrangea bloom on it. Now, these guys are your tough stuffs. Tough stuffs are serrata mountain hydrangeas, really, really adaptable. They can go in like that shade. They can go in dry shade. They can really handle some tougher conditions because they are a native hydrangea, even in this region, so they do a really great job in the landscape. So I would encourage you, if you have that weird area that's sun or shade and it's kind of dry, you just have a hard time, you can't quite do a panicle, but you can't quite do a macrophylla, try your serratas. They will be great performers. Remember Mimi's house, she has the tough stuffs and they're stunning. Now we're talking about the hostas. I know I showed you this table, I think a week or so ago, but I just wanted to show you this, talking about the hostas. Going from, our folks were amazing and arranged these from the shortest to the tallest. And when we're looking at all the different kinds of colors and textures, you know, you've got like drinking gourd, which is going to be a nice big one, more of a blue hosta, those upturned cup leaves. And then look, here we have the thyme in the bottle, right? Now that is in the same family. They're both hostas, but daggone, they couldn't be, you know, much different from each other. Putting those in your gardens together, beautiful. Hostas do really well in containers. So I know a lot of times in shade gardens, people have problems with moles or voles or deer or rabbit or just critters in general. Raccoons, like we have battled raccoons before coming in and digging up our plants. And so these do really well in containers. I have got so many hostas and shade-loving perennials in containers, and they thrive, and you can leave them there for years. It's a glorious thing. While you come to the nursery, Emily has been working very hard about getting the unique stone out, so I want to show you that. So let's look at this. Sorry, there's so many different things that I want to share with you. We do have a couple of the Proven Winners camellias. So the Just Chill series, this is the Just Chill Red Tip. So Proven Winners has started to introduce camellias because they understand that we Southerners do love camellias. And the Just Chill series is going to be a bit more cold tolerant, and they're hardy in zones 7, possibly 6B to 9. And this is gonna be 5 to 8 tall, 5 to 6 wide, part sun, right? And they've got gorgeous, like the new foliage on it is that beautiful deep, deep burgundy, and then it will mature to a lovely, deep, dark, glossy green. And these are gonna be fall bloomers. So they're not necessarily a sasanqua, but they are gonna be blooming the same time as your sasanquas in the fall. So we've got multiples of those that are just really fun additions. I've saved a couple for myself that we're gonna add to the signature garden when the time is right. Okay, unique stone. So whether you want Big pieces like the Savannah urn, right? We have those. If you want the cute little shroomies, the shroomies are so popular. We sell them as a set. You would not think that mushrooms could have personality, but these do. That's the thing that I love about Unique Stone, is that they take these pieces and they have such fun, quirky personalities sometimes, and they are just great additions to the garden. Like this. I forget what the name is of this pig, but y'all, look how stinking cute this little pig is. Cece personally loves this one. She grabbed one up, took it home, because she was like, he has the sweetest little face ever. So there you go. So you have got, whether you're traveling, maybe you're flying here to come visit us, road tripping, I don't know, whatever, and you can't take a Savannah urn home, right? So we have got lots of little pieces, little containers, whether you want to put succulents in them or hens and chicks, whatever it may be. There's a whole variety of smaller Unique Stone pieces that you absolutely could roll up in your clothes, stick it in your suitcase. I promise TSA will not care, but lots of different little boys with a bunny. I think that's a bunny. The little girl with the puppies. So lots of cute little things you just stick in your garden, and whether you want a fox, you want a cat, you want a pineapple, there's all sorts of things. We've got turtles, we've got angels, we've got the geckos. This is one of Emily's personal favorite. It's the display of the cute little garden geckos all lined up like little soldiers right here. These travel great in your suitcase because of their shape. You can just roll them up and throw them in your suitcase. But anyway, whether you're looking for yard art with Unique Stone, whether you're looking at adding more shade perennials or hydrangeas to your garden, no matter what it is definitely a great time to be a gardener, because you know, 'tis the season that we are out in the garden, and this is also a great time. Maybe you're not ready to add things to your garden. We always are evaluating our gardens. So look, throughout the season, what am I missing that needs to be blooming right now? Or what kind of color do I need, or a texture do I need? Write that down in your gardening journal, keep track of that, and then when the time is right for you to add it to your garden, you can remember what you need to add to give you that interest that you are desiring in your garden. So we would love to see you again Wednesdays through Saturdays. We are going to be closed on July 4th. I believe that's a Thursday. So just July 4th itself, we will be closed. So that way we can all celebrate with our families. But we will be open regular hours that week. So on Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, we'll have normal operating hours. But July 4th, the nursery will be closed. This weekend, we have food trucks coming. We'll have breakfast sandwiches. We will have, I don't even know all the different things that are going to be here because we're going to be coming off of the Signature Experience on Friday. A lot of our guests are coming back on Saturday to shop. So like I said, we're going to have lots of fun things available here. So if you are local or you are traveling, we would love to see you. Come see us on Saturday. Come grab a breakfast sandwich and all sorts of other great things. It'll be a lot of fun. So we appreciate you. Y'all have a great day. We'll see you in the next video. Bye, friends.